This may be the greatest Madden we have had in a while. In today's Gridiron Notes, today's patch, baby, they hit it on the head. They did a phenomenal job. I'm not going to worry about these abilities. I will say this, the Enforcer addressed an issue causing CPU-controlled defenders with the Enforcer ability to hit stick tackles too frequently, and as a result, also cause more fumbles than intended. Yes, for you guys that are letting the CPU do the work for you, punished. That is 100% needed because we should not let CPUs do the work. It's pretty easy. You click on and hit stick them. It ain't that hard. You let the CPU get in position, you can click on, you can punch them in the face, okay? Pretty darn simple. I want to kind of just skip through this stuff because, yeah, I don't really care. This is huge. This is also big, okay? Defensive coverage fixed allowing the bunch verticals flanker, so it's the outside receiver motion snap. Quick throw exploit versus cover 3 and cover 4. A long-standing legacy issue allowed users to call bunch verticals, like gun bunch, for example. Motion the flanker to the outside, which is, again, the outside receiver. Snap while motion and quick throw to that receiver who had been open against cover 3 and cover 4. We have added logic for the curl flat and quarter flat defenders to cover that throw. AKA, they will play the flat, and I'm assuming they'll eventually pass them off to the thirds like they should. Okay, awesome. Now, a lot of this other stuff I haven't really ran into. I don't know. This is interesting though right here, okay? Because this is kind of a deal that we've had to work with for cover 1, and so we're gonna have to learn different things for it. Fix an issue causing man coverage defenders to get into bad position versus motion wheel routes. For example, if you motioned out a wheel route and snapped the ball, you may have known this, may not have known about this, but you can essentially hit them when they're still running their flat route in the wheel portion of it, if that makes sense. So I'm assuming that's taken care of now. You can no longer throw wheel routes whatsoever against man coverage. We'll see. We'll see. This is also going to be interesting. I'm going to be testing this one specifically today. Fixed issues. So there may not be a tip video out today. There may not. There may not. I don't know. Fixed issues with defensive backs reacting too slowly to wide receiver auto motion and user controlled receiver motion, leaving the wide receiver open at the snap. So I'm assuming this is like motion snaps, like slants, posts. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Man defense is going to become a lot more difficult if they nerf that. It's going to be a lot more difficult. There are certain routes that still beat man coverage though, that we can take advantage. So we'll be testing that out. If this is the case, this is going to change the ebook and probably offset me by a day or two. We'll see. Address the issue where defenders mirroring receiver motion would sometimes stumble on their teammate when the ball is snapped. That's okay. That needs to be fixed. Fixed an issue rarely causing pass rushing outside linebackers to flip their gap assignment. I've never seen that from the games I played. I don't know. Fixed an issue causing a defender in man coverage versus screen blocking receiver would run past the blocking receiver on some RPO alert plays. So here is a good question. RPO alert bubble. It's an inside zone that you can pass off to a screen. Does that mean that just became better? Again, we'll be labbing that. So this is probably definitely now going to offset my ebook by a couple days. We'll see. So here we go. Catching improved multiple issues where the ball is going through players' torsos on SWAT and catch attempts. So I'm assuming this is when they're talking about like specifically corner outs, where as soon as your receiver broke to the outside, he tried passing it up, it said accurate, all of a sudden it's just like nothing ever happened. I don't know. Maybe this is something different, but hopefully they fix that. Address the issue user controlled receivers. This is an aggressive catch. It was kind of like the possession catch from last year. That's really all it is. Fixed an issue preventing a teammate from catching a pitch on kickoff returns. This is amazing. This now means we can go back to Madden 20 and earlier Maddens, because what happens is, and this is what I do, is you kick it to the fullback. If you don't know how to pitch the ball, it's LB or L1. And what would happen previously is if you try pitching it with a receiver or whoever right behind you, it automatically result in a fumble. And that sucks because if your fullback doesn't have high ball carrier, then it's gonna fumble, okay? So great issue fixed. We can actually get it to the return man finally. General fixes. This is what I'm so happy about. I'm so happy. This means the game's going to be good this year. If this is a fix that they're doing, fixed an issue. This means you can play MUT now. Okay, guys, you can finally go online and start playing games without getting screwed in a 3-hour game of false start endless hell. Fixed an issue with users being able to greet their opponent online by getting endless false start penalties. Note, we have addressed this issue now. 3 consecutive false starts, delay of game, or any combination of those penalties will result in the user committing the penalties getting booted. Hallelujah! That is great. And we're not done. We are not done, okay? We're going to go through these general fixes. These are going to be pretty important. Fixed a blocking issue causing the fullback and an offset tight end to collide with each other following the snap on certain formations. I'm assuming maybe power or stretch runs. I'm not sure. I never really ran into that issue. Fixed an issue causing offensive players to really move out of their formation positions in pre-play. This is freaking huge. Huge. So if you guys have watched streamers, I haven't ran into this. It's so rare you don't run into it, but when it does, I've seen it cause people to lose money games. Okay? It sucks when that happens. I was watching Pro Legend. That's how he lost a $1,000 Players Lounge tournament. Okay? It sucks. Fixed an issue causing offensive players to rarely move out of their formation positions in pre-play, such as a QB moving to guard position or a guard moving to a wide receiver position after an audible. We were finally able to narrow down the steps to identify the cause of this rare bug based on detailed feedback. Oh man, that's great. While we are confident this specific situation is fixed, there could be other situations that could cause some similar behavior, so we will continue to monitor and address issues here as they come up. Yes! W. This patch is a huge W. We are not done. We are not done, okay? We're not done, baby. Let's go. Fixed an issue causing the CPU-controlled offense to call passing plays sometimes when winning late in the game instead of okay. We don't really worry about that. Fixed an issue against CPU, but then suddenly I don't really care about that. And Ultimate Team. Here we go, boys. Here we go, boys. Here we go. Improve the accuracy of difficulty description for challenges. Good. Various quality of life improvements among different MUT UI screens. Faster. Good. Wait for it. Wait, I'm so happy. Addressed an exploit where users could complete one-play challenges and get bonus XP. Now, I'm assuming... I hope that's not the field goal because that's what we were using to level up. That sucks. That's an L if that's the case. Updated logic to address... Here we go. Here we go, guys. Lock in. Updated logic to address player feedback that the play clock would wind down to the point where pre-snap adjustments were too difficult to execute. Biggest W ever. And I mean ever. If you guys ran into this issue playing online, more specifically MUT, this did not happen in any other game mode. I don't know why. But what would happen is it would randomly chew down to either 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 16 seconds, 19 seconds. It would randomly chew the clock down when you did not have chew clock turned on, and there was nothing you could do to fix that. Some people are like, well, just turn off auto chew clock. That did fix it. I don't know who says that fixed it, but it didn't take care of it. Huge W. Huge, huge W. You know, seldom do I give the dev team props, but man, oh man, did they kill it on this patch. They not only killed it, but they destroyed it and just... Yeah, really amazing job. Now, franchise updates, I don't know, not many of you guys are franchise players. I know a couple of you guys are, that you enjoy it. So, Face the Franchise, we'll talk about these briefly. When I got into Face of the Franchise, I noticed that there was some scenes that didn't have audio. I don't know why. So, general stability improvements. This is kind of going in with both of these. You know it would crash. Seems like they fixed that. So again, big W. Added a new cutscene for users named NFL MVP in the comeback storyline. Sweet. Fixed issue with... I might actually play Face of the Franchise now. I may actually get into it now. Fixed issue with audio not playing correctly in the final Face of the Franchise cutscene at the user's high school field. W. Fixed several issues in storyline with branching logic, rewards, ability unlocks, typos, and goal tracking. W. Fixed performance issues in the first high school game. W. Franchise updates. Here we go, franchise players. This is for you guys, and we're going to be talking about run committed, pass committed, and deflator. I think that's a little bit, that's further up. I think these are kind of stupid. Fixed an issue with users input not working while navigating positions in the formation subs screen. I don't know. I don't really do that. Fixed an issue with slow sim for PS4 users. Again, I don't really do franchise. So you guys are franchise players. Hurrah! I don't know. You can let me know. Let me know in the comment sections if this is a W for you. General stability improvements. W. I know that you guys have been experiencing crashings after finishing games. It just crashes for no apparent reason. Fixed issue with veteran players receiving the votes for Rookie of the Year awards. W, I'd assume. Added league name to franchise cloud save titles. Okay, I don't know how they never... I don't know. Then the following abilities. These have been added into, I want to say, regs, mutts, and franchise. Run committed. If you guess correctly, if they have, first off, if they have this ability, run committed, we can go up real fast. Where was it? Should be up. Here we go. Defenders with this ability will dominantly win run blocks when they correctly use the guess pass play adjustment to predict a run. Incorrect guesses will result in a loss. So I'm assuming that they just get out the blocks better. We don't really know how these are going to work. Pass commit, you can probably guess. If you guess correctly in a pass commit and they're trying to get after the quarterback, they'll get after the quarterback a little bit better. So that could be a huge W. This could be a huge W. But again, you need abilities, which I don't know why they don't just buff the run commit and pass commit instead of having to put abilities. I don't know. Deflator. Somebody in Twitch is like, Tom Brady needs it. Defenders with this ability will cause increased fatigue penalties when tackling a ball carrier with a non-conservative tackle. Okay, Enforcer, I already talked about this, but yeah, CPUs shouldn't be making hit sticks. So the yard updates, let's go ahead and get into this. And this will be more about for you guys that play franchise again. I don't really care about this amount. I don't even pay attention to presentation, honestly. I pay attention to gameplay. The yard, added visual indicator for whether you are viewing head-to-head or versus CPU events. Added your own score to friend board display, fixed issues around player control and loot round drafts. I haven't really played the yard enough to know what the heck they're talking about, so. Fixed an issue where abilities will not display correctly if accessed in quick succession. Fixed an issue where maxed out prototypes will display blank rewards. Okay, stability and online. So just overall, they just really just did a huge stability patch. Now this is apparently a very large patch. I don't know how big it is. I'm still trying to get my game to update. Who knows when it's actually going to come out. But it seems like a lot of stability was addressed in this. Fixed an issue where CPU control products were always getting sacked when the play matchup was trips versus hook versus safe zone blitz. W. So I'm assuming these are probably popular plays in the yard. I don't know. Fixed the slot streak being open every time when running deep dish versus one deep zone blitz. Fixed an issue causing the ball to warp between the player's hands while throwing out a sack. Okay. Yeah, we can kind of just skip this. This is more for you guys that are franchise players and care about what the people look like. Okay. Updated handle and chin strap placement. Fix an issue with Titans AFL jersey and generic kids with probably more realistic ones. Again, I don't really care about that. User experience updates. Updates have been made to address general performance that impacted reliability of the kick meter. Huge W. They knocked it out of the park. And I've already read this. I just like all the major issues that we've been experiencing, like people going off sides. They doesn't seem like they've addressed DCs yet, which kind of sucks. Actually really sucks. Hopefully that's going to be out soon. Where it would sometimes, and honestly, if you DC glitch and you're a sub in my channel, please unsubscribe. I don't want to have you, I don't even want to associate with you. Updates have been made to address general performance that impacted reliability of the kick meter. So if you guys were playing solo battles, if you're playing anything that involved a field goal, it would lag about 3 seconds in-ish, 2 to 3 seconds in. It would lag and basically cause you to miss a fumble or cause you missed a field goal because you couldn't accurately predict when it was going to happen. The workaround with that was just to wait a few seconds, kind of just move the kick direction thing, line, I don't know what you call it, just move it around so you see the lag and then you're safe to go. But it seems like they fixed that. We're going to be testing that. So there's going to be a few things we're going to be testing, like motion snaps. So the ebook is probably going to be delayed. Ooh, I'm about to sneeze. It's probably going to be delayed a couple days just because of this patch. We're going to have to see what it did to motion snaps with route technician and slants and see if they still work, if they don't work, if they do, what do they do? If they don't, what do they do? So yeah, we'll be taking a couple days to just lab that stuff up. Again, this patch is set to go today. It was set to go at 11 a.m. Eastern time. You guys can check this out. just go ahead and Google Gridiron Notes Madden NFL 21, and this should be like the first thing to pop up at the top. It'll be September 22nd is the Gridiron Notes. So huge W's, lots of W's. I just hope that they can get the DC addressed real soon. I would assume that would be probably sometime in the gameplay update. One thing I want to talk about real quick before we end this. Updated QB slide functionality. This is good, and this is good. So, updated QB slide functionality so that the double tap of the dive button, or XX or square, will not always be slide, while single press will always be dive, which will align with the non-QB ball carrier give up functionality. Oh, that is so good. That means it's going to be consistent, and we hope it's going to be consistent. Modified the new Jurtle animation to reduce oversteering. We'll be testing Jurtle, see what they did. I'm going to be keeping this open and going through all this stuff today and just to see what they did. Fixed an issue that would sometimes allow the QB to enter a tackle animation while attempting to slide, which could lead to fumbles, basically getting warped into a tackle and fumbling. Fixed an issue where ball carriers would stumble and fall well after having a collision with their legs. I don't run the ball enough to know. Fixed an issue where ball carriers were stumbling and falling too frequently when running through the line and colliding with their blockers. No. If you're running into your blockers, you should be punished. Okay, unless you're using the truck stick against your blockers, you should be punished if you're running into your blockers, because that's bad run stick. That's really bad. Fixed an issue rarely causing the ball carrier to continuously run after scoring a tutty. Never saw that. Fixed quarterbacks pitching the ball with the wrong hand on option plays. I don't run option plays, so I don't know. I'm assuming this would be like a triple option or shovel, one of the two. That's the only thing I could think of. So anyways, some huge updates, lots of tuning, lots of stability fixes, new abilities. We'll be testing these if they're available in regs. I'm not testing this in MUT to spend 5,000 training on it. So yeah, that's gonna take care of this video. We may have a money play or a defense coming out later today. It kind of depends on what this patch did. If it didn't really mess up too much on our offense, things are gonna go as scheduled. If it messed up the offense, things are gonna be offset, and this is gonna be the video for today. So this is a huge W. I gotta give it to him. EA devs, you guys crushed it on this one. Freaking amazing job. The only thing that we need to address now is DCs, and it sounds like they're trying to figure out what the heck is going on with that. I don't have a clue. The only way that I currently know, and this is something I've been told by a few different streamers, is if you anticipate them, say, you can get a good feel for when somebody's about to DC you. If they're down 21 points or 30 points and they're waiting out the whole game, what you can do is you can take a timeout right at 1 second and then pause the screen and just wait. And often that's when people are going to go ahead and try and DC you. And that seems to take care of it. Aside from that, I don't know any other way. That's another thing. You guys, please drop that in the comment. You need to share that with everybody you know, how to avoid a DC loss. The only way that I currently know is call timeout right at 1 second if you anticipate them trying to DC you, and then pause the game to really make them wait. It's just kind of a double safety valve thing added onto it to try and avoid a DC loss, or like the game never happened, like I ran into yesterday on a Seasons game. So that's gonna take care of this video. Yeah, we may see you again later today. We may see you tomorrow. I don't know. Depends on what happened to the game. So this has been Team Ice. Let's get in the lab, boys. Again, Gridiron Notes. You can go Madden NFL 21 Gridiron Notes, and that's going to be the first thing that pops up. Click on it, read it, practice, check it out. See ya.